Nigerian leaders, past and present, have dragged religion and ethnicity into politics in their quest for leadership in the country. The struggle to accommodate ethnic and religious differences among its people is arguably one of Nigeria's biggest problems today. Nigeria, like many countries in sub-Saharan Africa, is made up of a complex mix of ethnic, religious, and regional groups. This diversity creates a web of individuals, intersecting and recursive identities, which are considered by many to be the main source of the violent conflicts that frequently erupt. Ethnic, religious, and regional identities generate the fierce contestation among Nigerians' estimated 250 to 400 ethnic groups around the control of state power, resource allocation, and citizenship. Disintegration, secession, civil strife, civil war, minority agitation, and violent conflicts are recurrent common threats or actual occurrences in Nigeria. Ethnic identity is the most basic and politically silent form of identity in Nigeria. In competitive and non-competitive settings, Nigerians are more likely to define themselves in terms of their ethnic affinities than any other identity. In addition to ethnicity, religious identity is also important in Nigeria. Religion is usually classified as one of three categories: Christian, Muslim, or tradition.
Well, since 1960, when Nigeria attained independence, the twin issues of ethnicity and religion, they have become extremely vexatious in our Nigerian politics, simply because politicians or political leaders, including traditional leaders, they manipulate ethnicity for their selfish interests. They also manipulate religion for their own selfish interests. Apparently because they believe that when it comes to religion, it is all about spirituality, and therefore the people they are leading, they believe those religious leaders, whatever they tell them is the truth. And so they now use that opportunity to begin to create problems in Nigerian politics, and it's not doing us good. And secondly, ethnicity itself is supposed to create an opportunity for intergroup relations, because Nigeria is not just one ethnic group. We have well over 250 ethnic groups in Nigeria, yet they still manipulate ethnicity. The majority ethnic groups, the minority ethnic groups, they are manipulated in such a way as to create problems of hegemony. In other words, the major ethnic groups want to override the power and interests of the minority ethnic groups. So this causes some kind of friction in the Nigerian politics. However, several attempts that were made to address these issues of ethnicity and religion in politics, they've not worked out. One, Nigeria is supposed to be a secular state, yet religion has a great deal of influence on the politics of Nigeria. Number two, the issue of ethnicity, where the federal character principle seems to have been applied in some cases that has been abused. Because once the particular ethnic groups grasp power at the center, then it now applies the policy of tribalism, in quotes, to be able to favor the people from their area. And that is not good for us.
Ethnicity and religion are the core problems of contemporary Nigerian governance. Believe it or leave it, that's exactly what we suffer, and we suffer it now. Nobody believes in meritocracy. It's either I belong to your own ethnic nationality or your own religion. But that's not the basic problem. Everybody wants his own. Wants your own by way of what you call ethnicity and what you call religion. Let me tell you, we have over 300 ethnic nationalities in the world, and every corrupt man, we have issues. If you are connecting these issues, let's connect them properly. How do we connect them to the current problem that Nigeria is undergoing now, not underwent, we're right there. How could you imagine a man who stole pension funds and it's been covered up until recently? It's either it is religion or it is ethnicity. Even where we are, people lie in terms of ethnicity and in terms of religion. Those are the basic factual problems. But the common man, the real issue in terms of what Nigerian problem is that we all have the similar problem. Whether it's ethnic, whether it's religion, we have a common denominator. And what's the common denominator? You suffer, I suffer, irrespective of where you belong, or I do belong. And right now, those issues are now backfiring. Ethnicity is now backfiring. Religion is now backfiring. And let me give you specific contemporary facts. Before now, Boko Haram was seen as a religious issue, but it's now affecting the same source where it exploded from. That's in terms of religion. In terms of ethnicity, it's the same thing. Get back to where we're coming from the South, when you talk in terms of the issues, contemporary issues in terms of militancy. It's affecting irrespective of religion, irrespective of what you call, ethnicity, affecting the same set of people.
Ethno-religious conflicts refer to those involving groups where religion is an integral part of social and cultural life, and religious institutions are representative, possesses moral legitimacy and mobilization potential. There are two major religions in Nigeria, Christianity and Islam, and their practices varies regionally. Ethnic conflicts in Nigeria and Africa in general arise as a result of scarcity of political resources, multiculturalism, religion, militarization of ethnicity, among others. Ethnic religions are often distinguished from universal religions such as Christianity or Islam, which are not limited in ethnic, national, or racial scope. Each cultural nationality in Nigeria has a set of values that distinguishes one community from the other, and no community is ready to compromise its cultural identity in the interest of the other communities.
I believe that ethnicity and religion ought not to play any major role in the mainstream of politics as it is, especially religion. We're talking about governance and good governance, and how in the midst of competing interests, challenges that face the mankind and Nigerians, Edo people for instance, how government should be able to meet such challenges. What has ethnicity got to do with it? What has religion got to do with it? Nothing. It is just a small screen by some persons to cover inadequacies of government where it arises. For me, I believe that any government at all, especially our government, and by the grace of God, I'm a part of government today, our focus and our strive should be the betterment of our people within available resources. How do we harness them? How do we make the services and goods delivery to our people our focus? Let's take Benin City and Edo in perspective now. Let's say, how do we ensure something like our roads are good? All motorable roads in Edo State, that they are all good in every local government of our state, that you can travel within cities and between cities without much constraint. How do we ensure that people get electricity at all times? These are basic amenities. How do we ensure that bus services we have them, and our refuse disposal is done diligently, and hospitals have enough drugs and equipment to treat our people when they fall sick. Children have school to go. In all this, you will see that my religion has nothing to do with it. So ours is to ensure that we focus on these services and let it get to the people.
Religion is easier to deal with than ethnicity. If you realize the fact that Nigeria has approximately 250 ethnic groups, and Nigeria has basically 3 or 4 religions. Now, the religions are Islam, Christianity in its different strata platforms and strains. Then you have the traditional African worship. Basically 3. The 4th part are the atheists that don't believe in any form of worship, that believe that everything should be secular. The Nigerian constitution says that Nigeria is a secular state, and so it should be. Religion should not be something that can be legislated on. It is a personal thing between every man and God, or his God, or his version, or his interpretation of the divine. That is their business between man. And so government should not have any business recognizing anybody's religious beliefs, apart from the fact that it is your right to believe in whatever it is you wish to believe in. But it should not form a basis for government policies or government decisions. Now, separate states, separate constituencies, and separate zones based on their own particular cultural and religious peculiarities can make their own laws and rules. That's why it is a federal democratic system. So the component units can make their own rules. They can make their own decisions based on their own peculiar culture, which might have a leaning on their religion. That is perfectly okay. Now, but beyond that, everything else that has to do with religion is only conventional. It cannot be legal and it cannot be constitutional. So it's a very tricky issue, because the truth of the matter is that if we were going to follow democracy, true federalism and democracy to the full extent, it means that a state can declare Sharia law for itself, just like in America. A particular state or a particular county, which is the equivalent of our local government, can decide on its own speed limits, can decide on certain laws as to possession of drugs or firearms or whatever, and their laws are only applicable within that jurisdiction, within that constituency. So ordinarily, under a federalist democratic system, every local government, every ward, every state, every zone should have the right to declare what its citizens want. Anybody who does not agree with them should not go there. Now that's done. So that's religion. And now let's go into ethnicity. Ethnicity doesn't really make much sense in itself, because Nigeria has on an average between 250 and 280 or 300 ethnic groups, depending on how you want to split them. The 4 major ethnic groups are the Hausa Fulani, the Igbos, the Yorubas, and then what you would call the minorities, which is a combination of Ishekiris, Ijos, Edos, Idomas in the north central, and so on and so forth. So Igalas. So you find out that you cannot. It's very hard to say that you want to base a democratic system on an ethnic basis, on an ethnic foundation. The most successful people that have done that are the Swiss in Switzerland. But they only have 4 major ethnic groups, and they have 4 major zones. And what they have done successfully is to take those ethnic groups and to create a college of presidents, where you choose a president from every ethnic group, and they all serve on a committee, for example, a committee of presidents, and they rotate the presidency 1 year after the other. So a committee of presidents, say for example 4 presidents, will rule for 4 years. But for every year, they rotate the chairmanship of that committee of presidents. If we have 6 zones in Nigeria, there's no reason why we cannot have 6 presidents from each zone. I mean, that's one president from each zone. So you have a college of presidents, 6 presidents. You have a single tenure.
Ethnicity usually undergoes an evolutionary process whereby it starts as a latent and accommodating feeling and later become instigated or propelled as a weapon of hostility, conflict, and bitter tensions. The hostility and conflicts that arise from self-determination of an ethnic nationality may probably be associated with the effort by the people to promote and sustain their ethnic identity in the face of other contending cultural paradigms. Culture plays a major role in the construction of the meaning underlying the attitudes and behavior of the members of a community with some cultural and communication patterns.
The two factors, ethnicity and religion, we cannot completely eliminate them in the country. However, in the political system, they have to be apparently removed if we so to settle for objectivity in electioneering. The ethnicity and religion, they've not really helped in Nigeria political system. The reason is because people see Nigeria as this is our country. They don't see it as this is my country. So when ethnicity and religion come in place, then we cannot achieve democracy, and this is the problem we are facing in the country now. Somebody is from my family, from my ethnic group, let him go. And he gets here, he misbehaves. And that will erode us the best, the skilled person that we look for. So it doesn't matter where the fellow is coming from, the religion he or she practices, even gender notwithstanding. We should vote for the best person, the skilled, the person that have the antecedent, the pedigree, the one who can deliver. And that's the problem we have now. Ethnicity and religion. Is he from a religion? Is he from an ethnic group? If he's not, I will not vote. And this has caused a lot of problems in the political arena of Nigeria. So the two have caused a lot of havoc in political system.
Ethnicity, as in the Nigeria political sphere, has given us a very bad image in the larger society. Vis-a-vis being that naturally, ethnicity is not supposed to be played with politics, because politics is about development, developing the entire place. So when you now break it down to ethnicity, saying that a man who is not qualified for a perfect job is given a job because of his ethnicity, now putting a round peg in a square hole just because of ethnicity, at the end, we all come back to suffer it. So to me, it's not supposed to mingle or mix with politics. Politics is supposed to be played with our first 11, the best we have. I'm not talking about party, whichever way. We should play politics with our best, not trying to bring in ethnicity. As we speak for the very just now, you can see that the Nigeria of the very just now that we are, the problem of ethnicity has eaten deep to our firmament, citing the cases of this Boko Haram issue, citing the case of Niger Delta issue, citing the case of the IPOP people. So you can see everybody trying to break away when we are all Nigerians. I get it. So to me, we should go back again to the drawing board, where Nigeria comes first before ethnicity, not where ethnicity comes first before being a Nigerian. Where somebody like Osahan Kobaye will not be seen as an Edo person, but I should be seen as a Nigerian, no matter where I put in. Not telling me that it has been the turn of the Northerners, now it should be the turn of the Southerners. No. Why divide the country? I think for those of us who might not have been to America, but we've read books to tell you that America believes in American first. Before that is why you see the likes of Barack Obama, a Kenyan born, becoming the president in America. But here they will tell you, where are you from? Asking again, even when you now come back to the said Edo, they will tell you, where are you again from the said Edo? You tell them you are from Benin. Where are you again in Benin? So they divide it to the latter. And by the time you divide it, it will now become minute. By so doing, we are not. So if we take out ethnicity and bring God back to say, this is where we stand as Nigerians, my sister, I bet you, development will start first. We should first of all treat about ethnicity, where a man will not be judged by his color, by his tribe, but by what the man carries, by what the man can do, what he can give. If we start doing that in trying to give put people in positions, at the end of the day, development will spring up rapidly.
In a country where you have different ethnic groups and different religious groups, these tend to divide the people rather than uniting them, because people tend to become self-centered, and they tend to help people from the same ethnic group and helping people that belong to the same religious group, just like the way we have in our country, Nigeria. You can see that this has brought about the political destabilization, considering the fact that some political cabals believe that because they are the people in power and because they belong to one ethnic group, they tend to arrange all political offices towards that background. And not only that, you can see that just like the way it happens to ethnicity, likewise to the religious group, to say I'm a Muslim, I'm not a Christian. That is to say that anybody that is a Muslim are those that will benefit from my government. So the truth of the matter is that not having or not belonging to one religious group or not belonging to one ethnicity tend to divide the people rather than uniting it. But on the other hand, if we are to overlook our religious background or overlook our ethnicity, you can see that we are able to, do better. Because the beauty of it is that in a secular country, anybody can practice his or her religion, as the case may be. But ethnicity is more of a progeny. You inherited your, the place you actually came from. But on the other hand, people have used this as a disadvantage for political growth.
Ethnicity and religion have considerable influence on the governing patterns in Nigeria. Although the federal government often stresses the need for the citizens to put national interest above ethnic and religious considerations, yet there is no politician in Nigeria who will win an election without the support of the members of his or her ethnic nationality. This is why most politicians tend to give priority attention meeting needs of their ethnic nationalities, even at the detriment of national interest. This is one of the reasons why the federal government has to resolve the issues regarding ethnicity and religion and respond to the agitations or secessions and the call for an amendment on the present structure of the Nigerian political system on ethnic and religious groups in the country, to reconciling the dividing lines between and among ethnic nationalities and religious institutions in Nigeria. Caroline Okonji on Special Report.